All right, folks, it's T and I'm back. Different strokes for different folks. It's your brother from another mother, friend. We're going to do a reaction video to our good friend here, JasonBlaha. So we're going to react to the gym, lifting, recruiting, fitness, gear slave himself, JasonBlaha. So the JasonBlaha, he says, getting thick takes years under the barbell. Ho ho. Man, you just gotta love this guy, the shit he comes up with.
Getting thick requires years under the barbell. Hey everybody, it's JasonBlaha.
Man, getting thick takes years. Just like he keeps saying, it takes decades to build muscle. Look, man, I gotta explain to all of you, 95% of the people out there do not know what builds fucking muscle. But once you discover what builds muscle, you're never gonna wanna go back to lifting conventionally or lifting weight concentrically against gravity. Trust me, you're just gonna be like, I don't wanna keep wasting my time doing that shit. Because it's just garbage, bro. You're just maintaining something. It's ridiculous. You understand me? You never built any muscle on your body. Building your natural strength is much better than building something artificial against gravity. Artificial strength, building something artificial strength to lift something heavy in the opposite direction of gravity is ridiculous. You understand, man? You're better off building your natural strength. You know, I'm not talking about steroids, and I'm not talking about lifting a weight in the opposite direction. I'm talking about you increasing your physical strength and your natural strength. Get it? By building muscle. Shit. I'm not joking. It doesn't take years. You want to know? I'll prove it. In the beginning of this video. Look. No, it doesn't take years to build muscle by lifting eccentrically. See? Eccentrically. While it takes time to see noticeable gains, it can be achieved within what? It can be achieved with consistent training within weeks to months. Eccentric training focused on the lowering eccentric phase of exercise can be particularly effective for promoting muscle growth. There you go. It is. Eccentric training, muscle growth. So there you go. Whatever. Lots of hypertrophy, muscle growth, muscle mass, whatever, compared to traditional training. Eccentric training and muscle growth. Eccentric contractions where the muscle lengthens under resistance can be highly effective for stimulating muscle hypertrophy growths. Studies suggest that eccentric training can lead to what? Greater strength gains and muscle mass compared to traditional concentric training. When they say traditional concentric training, they're talking about full range of motion. Time frame of muscle growth. Because all muscle grows in the eccentric. So noticeable muscle gains are often seen within a few weeks to a few months of consistent strength training, including eccentric exercises. Consistency is the key. Advanced lifters, while beginners may see rapid gains, advanced lifters may experience a slower rate of muscle growth as they reached a plateau. Well, we don't really reach plateaus. However, with continued effort and training, they can still make progress. We always make progress in eccentric training. Individual variations, factors like genetics, experience, nutrition, recovery, whatever. You get the picture anyways. Let's go back to this video.
Here, I thought I would chat with you guys and gals a little bit about this today.
Yeah.
But a quick reminder, if you guys will please click like down below, be greatly appreciated. If you aren't following me or subscribed, please do so. And if you guys would, please drop me a comment down under the video. I would appreciate that so much. Thank you. This is something I kind of bring up with topics. I've told guys, if they're just trying to look big, quickly, reasonably aesthetic, all this stuff, I always tell guys things like, yeah, just really work on your shoulders, work on your lats. It's what will quickly give you the appearance of more aesthetic look, like someone who works out.
Yeah, but how do you do that exactly? How do you do that?
Because the wider shoulders, right? Just having wider shoulders, and that comes from both delts.
Blaha has never built any muscle on his body. Never. He's never built any muscle. You understand, people? If anything, he got smaller, but he got fatter. He got smaller muscles, but he got fatter. You understand me? Lifting concentrically.
Comes from having lats, so any of that will spread everything out, make you look wider, and that's also when guys get leaner, which is what will give guys who are
Just because he's lowering it on the surface doesn't mean it's not internal fat. He's got a lot of internal fat. His muscles are most likely marbleized too. They're probably fat as well, like his fat bald head.
not big yet. It's what will give you that more aesthetic look. And this has always been
How would he know what's going to give you an aesthetic look?
yet. It's what will give you that more aesthetic look.
Look, man, how would he know what would give you an aesthetic look? This guy's not a bodybuilder. He doesn't bodybuild. He lifts concentrically. He playing with the weights, dude. He's just fooling around. It's fake strength. People just don't realize it. You don't understand the difference between real strength and fake strength.
And this has always been good advice. This is kind of the Hollywood advice. This is one of the things they do with actors. They really come in and hammer that stuff.
All right, I'll explain this one more time. Concentric exercise, what it does is recruits motor units definitely. The nervous system. It's nervous system strength. You could call it CNS, whatever. That's what it is. In the opposite direction, you're lifting. It's not based on muscular strength. Okay? So, in eccentric exercise, it's mostly based on muscular strength and motor unit. You could say both hand in hand, but a lot of it's muscular strength. But concentric is not based on that. See what I mean? If anything, there's a loss in muscle, so you actually got smaller.
I've almost seen that always when you really look at when it gets released, what a lot of these actors do. They just have them do big, heavy compounds, squat, bridge, deadlift, dips, all that stuff, right? And then they just hammer the heck out of their shoulders and stuff. Like they go.
No, they just have these actors lifting. They just have them pump training. It's really sarcoplasmic training. That's what they do because they could get away with that very quickly. That's why people think they must be juicing or they must be doing this or they must be doing that. Nah, man. The trainers have them building sarcoplasmic muscle because it's fake, because it's the easiest to build. It builds quickly. You understand me? It's unlike a myofibrillar growth. Myofibrillar growth is astronomically difficult to build because you got to go through these damaging sessions, then you have to go through a rebuilding session, you have to eat a lot. So it takes a lot of time, and even to see that growth takes quite a while to see that growth way at the end. You don't see it in the beginning, you see it at the end. But sarcoplasmic, it comes on fast. Fuck, you could see it within weeks, bro, within a couple of days. You understand me? So it's totally different.
Really hard in the shoulders and then the lats because it works. And so, we'll see them doing just big compounds, but then you'll look at their other stuff like, man, they have them isolating all three heads of the delt. They're not isolating a lot of the other stuff. What are they doing? And they're having them just push that stuff. Why? Because, it will make them have that look quickly. But there's a whole different ballgame.
Make them have that what look quickly? What are you talking about? They have them doing sarcoplasmic training to give them that phony look quickly. That's it.
Being thick. Really thick to where when you were walking down the street.
You're not getting thick. If you were actually getting thick, you were getting real myofibrillar growth. You'd be fucking astronomically super strong. You'd be so super strong, it's ridiculous. So when they say these so-called bodybuilders on steroids, they're massive, but they're not strong. Well, they're lifting something heavy, definitely because of the steroid. But are they strong? No. You want to know why? Because it's sarcoplasmic. If they were actually to carry that much myofibrillar growth, do you know how fucking strong they would be? Hell, they could punch through car doors and shit, dude. But they're not, because a lot of it is sarcoplasmic, because they don't train eccentrically. They train concentrically. They train conventionally. You understand me?
People know that you are big, right? That look front to back. Like, so some of this, like when you guys will see.
Even these power lifters, they're weak. They don't build any myofibrillar growth, so they can't create any kinetic energy, like real good, like strong force to punch through a car door. They don't build muscle. They don't do anything. They build the nervous system. That's what they're doing. That's all they're doing. They're building the nervous system to lift something in the opposite direction. So it's a weak modality, very weak. Man, concentric lifting is very weak. Eccentric is stronger than concentric.
Turn or whatever, I'm thick front to back. That is something that takes a long time because
Blaha is fat from front to back. Yes, he's fat. He says he's thick. Yeah, he's fat.
for that to occur,
It took him a long time to get fat. I don't know. How long did it take you to get fat? You used to weigh 300, right?
you have to gain a lot of these various support muscles. I mean, you have to have pecs, you have to have mid traps, upper traps, rhomboids, like all these other muscles. You can't just have a wide.
See, if he says it, then he must have it. If he says it, he's convinced you he has it because he has to say it. He wouldn't have to say it. You'd already see it. It'd be visible, but it's not because he doesn't have any.
That can be thick, right?
Where's his traps? Where's anything? Nothing.
You can't just have wide delts and be thick. Like, so to be thick, you have to have all those go muscles. You have to have hamstrings, right? So when you turn to the side, your legs look bigger, right? They can look big from the front with quads. Like wide shoulders and some lats will make you look wide from the front.
Sure.
But that thickness, it is something that takes years to develop, and it also takes a lot more muscle. You know, again, as long as you're lean, you can have a certain look really easy. And again, I tell guys
How would he know that?
that, like, if you just want to quickly just kind of get that look you guys are looking for, just get real lean. I mean, obviously work everything. You want to work every muscle in your body. You don't leave anything untrained, but just really double down on things like pull-ups for your lats and just do lots and lots and lots of delt work, right? Because it works.
Just do lots and lots of delt work concentrically, yes, so that you can make them really small. Just keep doing all these things so you make yourself small. Okay.
You'll look wide. Okay, you'll look wide up top. You'll have the V taper. You'll have the wide shoulder.
Well, yeah, you're lucky if you're doing pull-ups because at least that will pull out your muscle. If it wasn't for that, probably get zero.
Like, you'll look quickly like someone who works out. Like people, oh yeah, that guy's in shape. He's lifting. He's got.
I love that. You'll look like somebody that works out if you do pull-ups. Yeah, because if you do powerlifting, you won't look like somebody that works out. Get it? You're gonna have to wear a shirt like Blaha that says powerlifting on it, because nobody knows he powerlifts.
Look at the wide shoulders, right? People can identify it, but you're not gonna look really big and thick. That front to back, that
Really? Why is that?
comes from years under the barbell. Okay,
So that comes from years under the barbell. Yeah. Okay. Whatever.
hamstrings, traps, forearms, because having a wide back is not the same as a thick back, and the thicker your back is, the more everything pulls back, the more the chest sticks up, right? So then obviously you need pecs and everything too.
Oh, really?
So totally different. So a lot of those guys who have less time in the game, when they turn to the side, you can see the difference, you know, and they still look good. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying they don't have nice physique.
At Bet365, we're all about amazing.
You can see the difference, you know, and they still look good. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying they don't have nice physiques. I'm not saying they don't look good, and I'm in no way belittling or making fun of. Right? This is not what this is about. We're none of
Sure, Blaha.
us are trying to make fun of anyone, but we are talking about that there's a difference, and you can see the difference when dudes are walking down the street. You know when somebody is strong because they have that thick look. You guys know exactly what I'm talking about. You're like, man, they got traps, they got hamstrings, the power look. And all serious bodybuilders have that too, right? Because they all have to be big. So since everything is big, they're going to have thickness also. But it takes time. And there's
man, because they're big to have thickness, bro. Does he not know that there's two types of hypertrophy in lifting? There's something called sarcoplasmic, and then there's myofibrillar. One can overtake the other, get it? Yeah. You can't have both. You can have both of them. But you can also have one being more than the other, and that's what they got. Sarcoplasmic.
Big difference between being able to create an illusion by focusing on certain areas and making sure that they grow really quickly and just getting lean. Because again, you can create an illusion real quick. You get a small waist, you get a V taper, and you get wide shoulders. Right? You're going to have the illusion in terms of proportion of you're going to look good, honestly. Like realistically for the younger guys, that's how that you're going to look good. Like people are going to look at you and be like, he's got good physique, right?
Sure.
They're going to say that. Girls are going to notice. The other dudes are going to notice. People will notice, right? That's what you view as the guy's in shape. The guy works out.
Yes, the dudes are going to notice. That's about it.
They know it instantly. If you have the V taper going, so the shoulder to waist ratio. But nobody's looking at that and going, oh man, that guy's big when they see you in person. It's that thickness, that density. And because those are bigger muscles, they take a long time to really fill out. Because as I've said before, you have to have traps, and I mean your whole trap. Rhomboid, hamstrings. How do we build all that stuff? To deadlifts, good mornings, RDLs, rows, pull-ups, but usually tons and tons of rows, right? There's a lot more that goes into that than just getting a nice V-taper. So it's something that takes time. It takes time. And it almost always requires you to be strong. Because again, when we think of thickness versus just, so that's a perfect example of a thick Herculean look versus, the more Apollyon aesthetic look, right?
Sure.
If you got good genes for the aesthetics, you can attain that pretty quickly. And we all know, we all see it, we've seen it happen many times. But the more Herculean look is really the power look, right? It's the power look, it's the strength look. But again, I do point out that is also required to be an open bodybuilder. You have to still have that look anyways for that, because they have to be big everywhere. And if you're big everywhere, you're obviously going to be big in the power muscles that make you look thick. And
yeah, they're big, but they don't have any myofibrillar growth, because if they did, they'd be so strong, bro. It's ridiculous. They'd probably be benching like 4,000 pounds.
You're going to be big in all those muscles that make them look aesthetic. They're going to be big everywhere. It's going to be called pro bodybuilders. But always reminding guys, this is not something you will reach in a short amount of time, to where you are really filling out a shirt.
Oh, brother.
Okay? Where you're really filling out the shirt. That's thickness, and it takes time to get there, and it takes a lot of weight. You probably have to be strong. Most guys who are going to get there, they're doing some heavy deadlifting, a lot of heavy rows, because all those go muscles have to be built. The stuff on the back side of the body, so that when you turn to the side, you don't disappear. Because we see that with the other look too. You can always tell those slimmer guys.
It's funny listening to this guy give advice on how you should look. Wow, man, Blaha, of all people, Christ.
Because they're skinny, you're thinking of a slim. No, they just haven't built those muscles yet. So they look nice and wide. You have V-taper, wide shoulders from the front. They look great, right? But they turn to the side and they disappear. And there's nothing wrong with that. It just means they're a short timer in the game with a lot of that, and there's nothing wrong with that. Everyone starts somewhere.
Brother,
Everyone starts somewhere, and just keep moving forward, guys. So again, if you're trying to get fit,
why is he wearing a weightlifting belt? His back hurt from curling these, or what?
it can have more of a power look. Just understand, it's going to take a lot longer.
These actually look eccentric. He's not doing full concentrics. These are eccentric for his arms now. Look at this. I mean, he's kind of throwing it, but it's eccentric. Watch.
And it's that simple.
See? He stopped there and he went back down. He didn't go all the way up. I guess he must be doing eccentric work for his arms, because he knows that's what's going to make him grow. But he's telling you it doesn't. What an idiot. I'll see you in the next one, friends. Don't you think about that, like, subscribe, support the channel. See you in the next one.